attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
We're struggling right now. We're going through some bad stretch and trying to spark the team somehow, some way, get them excited. It's always good.
Just for him to go out there and hit 2 bombs and give us the lead early and then do it again later on is a great feeling for me to go out there and be comfortable. So he had a terrific game tonight.
He adds that extra dimension to the team. It's not like today we see him hit 2 homers, but also it's what he's able to do with the glove and on the base paths. Just that energy, it's contagious, and he definitely put some life into us tonight.
Well, the weather is hot like Jose Caballero was last night, but we've got a dome, so it is time for baseball. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in Game 2 of a 4-game set from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Joe Girardi. I'm Michael Kay. Boy, did the Yankees need that win last night. First game of the 4-game set, they won 5-1. Cam Schlittler was brilliant over 8 innings, and the offensive support he got, 3 home runs by the Yankees, 2 of them by Jose Caballero.
Yeah, they needed someone to step up and stop the frustrating at-bats that they had. They got a couple walks before Caballero came up in the 5th inning and hits this 2-2 changeup off of Griffin Jax. The first hit he had given up. He had been perfect until the walk. He wasn't done, though, Michael. In the 8th, he adds on to make the score 4-1. And I counted, Michael. It only took him 10 seconds to get to first base each time. He loves hitting against the Rays.
He loves hitting against the Rays, who traded him. Don't think he has forgotten. So 308 as a Yankee against his old team. 4 home runs, 10 runs batted in. So Game 2 of the 4-game set, the Yankees now 3 games behind the first-place Rays. Let's take a look at the Home Depot working on a win pitching matchup. It's Ian Seymour getting the start, left-hander for Tampa Bay. Fluctuates between a bulk guy and a starter. He's starting tonight. Will Warren will go for the Yankees. Had a rough June, but last time out against Detroit, he pitched better.
Yeah, against the lineup that threw a bunch of lefties off at him, and he has struggled against lefties recently, but he was really good against Detroit. You see the good breaking ball for the strikeout, and then the changeup down. His changeup was outstanding. He's going to need that tonight because he's going to see 6 left-handers, and he's going to see a switch hitter. And the 2-seamer, the front hipper, got to make sure you start it in and it doesn't leak too far across the plate.
All right, first 7 starts, lefties hit 208 against him. Next 9 starts, not too good, went up to 294. And the last start that Joe detailed, 3 for 13, the left-handers were against Will Warren. We told you about the 2 home runs by Caballero. Ben Rice had a home run as well. Now the whole world's going to get to see him. Bronx Bomber Benny, bashing Benny. He is in the home run derby in Philadelphia on Monday. Meredith Marakovich talks with him next on Yes.
Welcome back to Tropicana Field for Yankees baseball on Yes. I'm Meredith Marakovich, along first-time All-Star Ben Rice. Ben, how does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
It was announced earlier today that you'll be participating in the Home Run Derby, and it's going to be your dad that's throwing to. You said in the clubhouse it's been a lifelong dream for the 2 of you to do that. What was it like to make that phone call?
It was really cool. Just, hitting him up with a FaceTime. He was pretty unsuspecting and said, "Hey, is your arm loose?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's feeling good." I'm like, "All right, well, it better be because we're doing the Derby." So, and he was thrilled. I mean, just like I said, it's been a lifelong dream for us. So, we're really looking forward to it. How much did that play into your decision to participate in the Derby? Oh yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want it any other way. So to make sure that he was going to be able to throw to me was definitely big for the decision. And your teammate Cam Schlittler already said he'd be the Gatorade guy for you. There's going to be a lot going on in Philadelphia. What are you most excited for, Ben? I mean, I'm excited for everything. I mean, I just all the guys who have been to the All-Star game in the past, told me to just soak in every moment and talk to as many guys as possible. There's going to be so many great players. I'm really looking forward to picking everybody's brain and enjoying the Derby, of course, and then the game will be a fun way to cap it off.
Well, we look forward to watching you throughout that All-Star break. Ben, congratulations.
Thanks.
Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Michael Kay will be joined by Joe Girardi. We'll have First Pitch next on Yes.
Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Deals so right, they almost feel wrong. Only at your local Hyundai dealer. By Sage, proud accounting software provider of the New York Yankees. By Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. And by Sandals Resorts. Get closer to the Caribbean. Some of the outstanding players through the years in this rivalry, Yankees against the Rays. Seymour's on the mound, and this is the Yankee lineup that he is going to face. Yankees send up Grisham, Goldschmidt, and Rice at the top. Rosario, Bellinger, and Caballero in the middle, and Chisholm, Schumann, and Sanchez will catch and bat ninth.
Good numbers for Seymour. You see the hits per inning. He really doesn't give up a lot of hits. He does walk more than the average pitcher. And
Grisham's ready. Seymour is ready. And let's do it here in St. Pete. First pitch is out of the strike zone.
And let's check out the Nissan pitcher's scouting report on Ian Seymour. All the way over. He is as far over to the third base side as possible. That's because he gets a lot of run on his sinker and his changeup. He's in more of a traditional role for him. He's made 9 starts in his career with Tampa, a 3.16, 41 relief appearances, a 4.22. And you can't cover it all. His changeup hitters are hitting 145. It's going away from the right-hander. His sweepers coming into right-handers are only hitting 146. Those are his 2 key pitches.
1-2. Home plate umpire is Gabe Morales. Doug Eddings, the crew chief at first. Mike Belinsky at second. Emil Jimenez is at third. Grisham had his 17-game on-base streak snot yesterday with his 0 for 4. Remember, he was out for a long time in the middle of that streak.
I got to tell you, though, I liked his at-bats last night. He hit the ball really hard. He didn't really have any success because he kept hitting into Jonathan Aranda. But his at-bats were good.
Foul back here. Check out the defense behind Seymour, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Simpson, Mullins, and Victor Mesa Jr. in right. In the infield, it's Caminero, Walls, Palacios, and Aranda. Hunter Fiducia behind the plate, catching Seymour. That one is cracked to center field. Mullins is right there. 1 down. We told you Morales is behind the plate. The umpire scouting report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. He's considered pitcher friendly. 58 calls have been challenged, 33 overturned, more high strikes, more outside strikes on lefty batters in his 13th major league season. Seymour, 27 years old, second big league season. And something's got to give with Goldschmidt. He's such a great hitter against lefties, but he is in his first extended slump of the year. He's 0 for his last 26, and in the middle of that, 0 for 12 against lefties. One and one.
I think it's given. Right here, Michael.
Right here?
Right here on this pitch.
One and two. I'll try again.
Well, if I said it every pitch, I'm eventually going to get it right. But there's the good changeup, and he gets on that third base side because it's got so much arm side run, and he's trying to keep it on the plate or just off the plate.
Strike 3. On the outside corner, like Goldschmidt wanted to challenge, thought better of it. 2 away. And that'll bring up Ben Rice and brings us to the leaders, brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. In the American League, the home run leader is Alvarez. Caminero is second. Ben Rice tied with Buxton and Montgomery. Or check that, with Buxton with 25. Montgomery has 23. Rice hit his 25th yesterday. Got foul, and then we find out he's heard Meredith talking with him. He's going to be in the home run derby. And his dad, Dan, who pitched at Brown in the 1980s, is going to pitch to him in the home run derby.
That's pretty special. Happens occasionally where the father gets to throw to the son. A lot of pressure on the father.
Let's take a look at all of his home runs. The Spectrum exit velocity presented by Spectrum. Average exit velocity 103.7. That's what caught the Yankees' eyes last year. Is boy, the ball was really flying off his bat with a high exit velocity. And it's continued this season.
And hard hit is considered 95 miles or over. So averaging 103, there's probably some that are less than 100, but there's some that are probably up around 110.
3 home runs last 6 games for Ben. Now last year he had 26 home runs in 138 games. Now he has 25 in 85 games. Still 2-2. Yankees coming at 50 and 40. The Rays are 52 and 36. Pretty good company. 25 or more home runs before the All-Star break for Yankee first baseman. Tino with 28 and 97. See what Giambi and Teixeira did. And now Ben Rice is on that list.
Every decade, Michael.
Line drive, it's a base hit to right field for Rice. A 2-out single.
Yeah, you got to sweep her up in the zone. Man, that was a loud noise. You could hear it all the way up here in the press box. So you're going to see him stay on this ball, and he hooks it over the second baseman's head. He hits it extremely hard. Left-handers have had more slug off of Seymour than right-handers. You're going to hear that. What a crack. Love that sound, Michael. Left-handers have a 494 slug where righties only have a 293. And I think that's why you see Grisham in there tonight.
First pitch to Rosario is a strike. Fiducia throws out 23.7% of base stealers. Rice has 2 stolen bases on the year, held there by Aranda. Boy, those numbers are kind of bizarro world because he's usually great against lefties and not terrible against righties, but his numbers against lefties in his career very, very good. That's his specialty, but they flipped this year. One, two. Swing and a miss on that change. Rosario down on strikes. No runs a hit. 1 man left. Yankees nothing. Rays coming to bat. 2 strikeouts for the Yankees in the top of the first. They leave 1 runner on. Now it's Will Warren's turn against this Tampa Bay lineup. Diaz leads off. Aranda at first has been hot in his last 18 games. Then Caminero at third. Middle of the order, Mullen, Simpson, and Mesa Jr. And the bottom third, Taylor Walls, Richie, Palacios, and Hunter Fiducia.
See the numbers on Will Warren. He takes the ball every time. He's been fairly consistent. Had a little bit of a tough June, but he bounced back. But let's take a look at the Nissan pitcher scouting report. He did have a nice bounce back against Detroit. He went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 2 runs. He was really good against lefties again, which had been a struggle the previous 9. 7 up. He's going to see 6 left-handed hitters and 1 switch hitter. Versus Detroit, left-handers were 3 for 13 with 5 strikeouts. And can I get a little help from my friends? He's given up more unearned runs than any pitcher in baseball, 12. And what's that do? It leads to extra pitches, and an opportunity to make more mistakes. You fatigue earlier, you get some long innings, your stuff's not the same.
And shorter outings. Diaz has been dealing with a left shoulder strain, and his numbers reflect it. Just 2 hits in his last 24 at-bats, but he's remaining in the lineup.
Yeah, he was way out front in batting average. He was hitting 336. He's dropped to second place behind Yordan Alvarez, who's now hitting 318. He's hitting 317. And when you have a shoulder issue like that or something, it seems to get you when you swing and miss the most. That's when it hurts the most, not when you make contact. So he will be extremely selective.
Now, the Yankee win last night was noteworthy for this reason. The Rays are 31-13 at the Trop. That's overall. The Yankee victory yesterday was the first time an American League East team came into St. Pete and beat the Rays this year. They're now 12-1 at home. Grounded to short. Caballero, 1 down. Check out the Yankee defense, and we'll take a close look at Max Schumann. The defense brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. And the Car Shield defensive player profile is on Max, who's become very leaned on when it comes to Aaron Boone. He really likes him a lot. He's played 9 games in right field. I think Boone trusts him everywhere.
Well, he's shown that he can play everywhere. That's the thing. I think it's important that Will Warren uses his 4-seamer up to Jonathan Aranda. He's had some success, 2 for 5 with a home run. He's a really good breaking ball hitter, so he's got to use his 4-seamer up and his change down. You know, you brought up those numbers on Jonathan Aranda. The Yankees have done a really good job on him this year. It's just 2 for 24. He does have 4 RBIs.
I mean, the Rays are an interesting lineup. They score runs, they hit for average. They don't hit a lot of home runs, although lately they have. But they're kind of top heavy with the people that are dangerous.
But the bottom 5 create runs. And this is something that Jonathan Aranda does as well. In the AL, he's tied for 8th with walks. Him and Junior Caminero. But what they do is they hit and run down there. They safety squeeze. They run the bases extremely well to create runs. And these are the power guys, the top 3.
So here is Caminero. Last 13 games, 11 home runs. Yankees held him down yesterday as he swings through the first offering from Warren. Warren pitching on 5 days rest. His ERA is about a run better with 5 days rest than with 4. 4 days rest, he's had 5 starts, 4.38. 5 days rest, 12 starts, 3.48.
And it seems that you see more life to his fastball when he has that extra day. It has that little jump to it, like the first 2 he threw to Caminero. You may not necessarily see it in velocity, but it's got more life.
One and 2 on Junior Caminero. Ronda does not have a stolen base. Leads off first, held by Goldschmidt. And down goes Caminero, 2 away.
That was a really good sweeper. And at times he throws some sweepers that start as a ball and end as a ball. Well, that one started as a strike. He started it on the inside corner, and that's what got Caminero to chase it. It's got to be a strike out of his hand to get Chase. Sometimes it gets too big.
Here's Mullins, and a strike from Warren. Take a look at Warren's arsenal on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
Yeah, he's got the good four-seamer that his carry. His sinker has a lot of movement. His sweeper is a good pitch at times. His changeup has been very good this year, and a curveball that he doesn't use very often.
Swing and a miss. Mullins down on strikes. So Warren rings up 2 Ks, and we go to the second. 0-0. Well, let's check out one of today's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. And Cody Bellinger leading off, so if he hits 1 or more home runs, it's plus 550. Cody is in quite the slide. Last 17 games hitting 113, 7 for 62. And also, Joe, what jumps out at you, he hits lefties very well, but during the slide, 4 for 25.
Yeah, he has not hit anyone, and that just tells you he's a little bit off. But he has had success off of Seymour. He's 3 for 3, and it might be just what he needs to get going. Keep throwing that breaking ball in there. That's something that Cody Bellinger likes, and he will turn on one of those.
He's had just 1 RBI in his last 17 games. 2 extra base hits, both doubles.
What's kind of strange about this is how they all went cold at the same time, and that's usually not the case. Usually have 2, 3, 4 guys maybe cold at once, and the other guys are doing okay, and hitting coach has to fix those 3 guys. Here, James Rosson, hitting coach, has got to fix everybody.
And down goes a Bellinger. 3rd strikeout for Seymour.
Yeah, just a little slider that he's swinging underneath. And Cody's a guy that usually makes a ton of contact, a very low strikeout rate, and that has not been the case through his struggles as well.
So here's last night's heroes, or one of the heroes, along with Schlittler, Caballero.
I like that, though, Michael. You said heroes. If you hit 2 home runs in a game, you ought to get a double hero.
Yeah.
And Michael, one thing we've seen with Jose Caballero, he loves to be a nuisance out there on the field. Takes pride in it, actually, and if he could do it against his former team, even better. He said something about playing here at Tropicana Field. He just feels comfortable. He's a competitor. He wants to win. He knows guys on the other side, and, you know, that's kind of what gets him going. He likes being in the middle of those big moments. And when I asked Cam Schlittler about him, he said when he can keep his emotions in check, he's as good as anyone out there on the field, and he believes it, Michael. He will tell you every time he steps foot on that field, he thinks he is the best player out there.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought that up, Meredith, because Boone brought that up post-game. He said every game he's in, he thinks he's the best player. He said, and that's not a bad thing, especially in a sport that's predicated on failure.
Absolutely. You have to have confidence in yourself, because people are always going to be down on you because there's so many struggles. And that's something you got to watch if you're the Yankees. He will quick pitch you like he did there, and both times I've seen it, it's been on a changeup. But I got to believe he has bigger brothers, and that he had to fight for everything he got.
2-2.
And I bet he pestered the heck out of him.
Now we're going to have to check that out tomorrow. He's starting at shortstop, 2nd straight game. Now it's kind of folly to give a win-loss record to people starting out of 9, but those are the numbers. There are other people involved, pitchers involved as well.
And guys, I found out about the brothers after the game, but I can tell you if he's not in the starting lineup and he's in the dugout, he's bothering everybody in that dugout. Just a tremendous amount of energy from Caballero.
That was Nick Swisher. And what it does as the manager is it makes you put him in the lineup because you don't want to listen.
Foul back. One away here in the second. And he took all the way and right down the middle. What was that, Joe?
I don't know what happened there. I don't know if he tried to call timeout and the umpire didn't grant it to him. I don't see him saying anything.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I think we both don't know what we just saw.
I have no idea. Usually I can come up with a theory.
Can't even make something up on that.
No, because he was looking right at him.
Weird. Now maybe Joey's a little out of sorts because he does not have the eye black applied. Sometimes he forgets.
How do you forget?
I don't know. I don't wear eye black. I forgot my whole life. Deep to right field. And that ball is hooking. Foul. Boy, he gave that a ride.
Yes, he did. And those sweepers that Seymour throws to lefties have been hit extremely hard this year. 560 slug. And you see it stays up and doesn't get far enough away from Jazz, and he smokes this. He just hooks it a little too much.
Strike three. Seymour strikes out the side. Yankees struck out 17 times yesterday. They've struck out 5 times in 2 innings today.
Welcome back to Tropicana Field. Cam Schlittler looked like a man on a mission last night. He went 8 innings, allowing just 1 run, striking out 8 Rays along the way. After the game, I asked him in the clubhouse if he felt like there was some added motivation, considering that he struggled the time before that against the Detroit Tigers, giving up 6 runs in that one. And he said that he heard some of the outside noise. He went on to say that people want to say there's a regression because I had 1 bad outing. Well, it was personal to go out there and have a dominating start and put this team in the right position. Now, after Cam pitched in that one last night, he posted this on his Instagram. So pretty much mowing down batters by night, model in the evening. Michael, what do you think? Looks pretty
He looks
good,
sharp.
right?
He's rocking the double-breasted. Beautiful.
He's getting ready for that red carpet at the All-Star game.
Nice job. And it does show you, I mean, there's 2 schools of thought. There's no such thing as bulletin board fodder. And then there's a school of thought that you hear with Cam Schlittler. Michael Jordan used to make up stuff about people that he was playing. He made it up to get himself angry. So I think that's a motivating factor for Cam Schlittler.
Michael,
for sure.
It does seem like, from what we've seen from Schlittler, that gets him to the next level. You saw it in the postseason against the Red Sox last year. You saw it again here at Tropicana Field yesterday. Whenever he hears something, he wants to prove people wrong. Definitely had a chip on his shoulder last night.
And I'm telling you, Meredith, maybe you caught something that I didn't see. There's nobody that covers the Yankees that said it was a regression. Nobody that I even know. It was something that he read from a post that was on probably X or Instagram. And even if it's a small voice, he hears it loud and clear, and it moves the needle.
It clearly bothered him, and he went out there to prove people wrong. maybe Aaron Boone needs to find ways every start, although he's been so good this season, to just get under his skin a little bit, to have that type of performance every time out.
Yeah, just have a burner account where you insult him and then he's going to go throw no-hitters.
You know what? Now that you say that out loud, I don't know that that's a good idea.
All right.
Michael, can I tell you a funny story?
Please.
I used to do that to my daughter in high school.
Really?
And I told her this one game that this girl said, you're nothing, Lena. She's going to score more points by halftime than you're going to have in the whole game. My daughter ended up getting a technical.
Really?
I would tell her, I saw it on Twitter. Every game I came up with something to get her going. It's all she needs.
Wow. Somewhat devious by you. But now she's a college scholarship player, so it worked. 2-1 on Victor Mesa Jr.
And I also like what Cam did yesterday. There was a lot of talk that he needed to use his breaking ball more. So what did he do? He raised his four-seam usage by 11%, cut down on his cutter.
Popped up on the left side. Rosario gives it a look. It's out of play.
And cut down on his curveball and said, really? I do? You know, great athletes have that ability to say, I'll show you. And that's Cam.
I mean, he gave the Yankees a big performance on a night that they needed a big performance. Because this was a 4-game series where, you know, if bad things happen, changes your thought process of where you can go. High drive, right field. Schumann back on the track, at the wall. See ya. A home run from Mesa. And the Rays are on the board. It's 1-0.
Victor Mesa has not hit for much of an average and had a really tough road trip where he was 1 for 15. However, that's his 4th home run in a limited amount of playing time. And he got in a long count, saw too many pitches and beat him.
Walls takes a strike. And it's going to be challenged by Walls.
The batter is challenging the strike call.
And it's presented by T-Mobile. Take a look.
The call is confirmed. Tampa Bay has 1 challenge remaining.
Unsuccessful challenge for Walls. Joe, 2nd inning. First pitch of an at bat. I don't know if you challenge that.
Yeah, there's a four-seamer to me. You got to get closer to him, because the closer it's to him, it's harder for him to keep it fair, and you swing under more. But you're right, Michael. I mean, there's 1 out. It's not a pivotal pitch. You have to be 100% sure. See how this four-seamer's up? That's good, but it's out over the plate, and he can get the barrel to it pretty easily. And that's what he did. You're going to see it's outer third. It's 93. It's got some good carry to it. He's got to get it on the other side of the plate.
That'll bring up Palacios. 1-0.
You know how they talk about in the playoffs a lot of times, most of the runs are scored by home runs. These are 2 pretty good pitching ball clubs that both have a great chance of making the playoffs. Every run in this series so far has been scored via the home run. Oh, they had one that wasn't yesterday. All 5 of the Yankees yesterday.
Yep. And this one. 2-1. 2-2. Palacios didn't like that call, but he's not going to lose the second challenge.
And my guess with that four-seamer in, that he's trying to set him up for the two-seamer off the plate in that comes back.
Skied the other way. No play.
And because he didn't start it in enough, Michael, he didn't give up on it. He stayed on it because he saw it as a strike. If he starts it in more and then it runs back over, he'll probably take it.
It's a base hit to right field. Schumann cuts the ball off, holds Palacios to a single. We were talking about Cam Slitler, how brilliant he was yesterday. Now it's time for the mobile performance.
Well, his fastball, his four-seamer, averaged 98.5. He got a ton of swing and misses on it, whether it was up or outside, just barely off the plate. He got a Randa 3 times yesterday, ended up with 8 in 8 innings.
Fiducia takes low. Started off hot lately, 7 for 46 in his last 18 games. That's 152. One and one.
Palacios, who's 8 for 13 in the stolen base category. Will Warren's only given up 1 in 1 attempt. You wouldn't think he'd be running because they would want to turn the lineup over with 2 outs. If you run and get thrown out, then Fiducia leads off, and that's not what you want. Coney now says that more than I do.
Yes. And he uses binders too. You don't know that, do you? He's assuming your personality. Now, if we get you dancing up here, it's complete, bizarre world.
Yes.
Freaky Friday. One and 2 on Fiducia. And the pitch. Fouled away. Two and 2. 1 run in on the Mesa home run. Palacios at first with 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning. Rays lead 1-0. Missed inside. 3 and 2.
Sanchez thought that was strike 3. He was getting ready to run to the dugout. Didn't have enough conviction, though, to challenge it. I think they would have lost that challenge, Michael.
Runner goes. Strike. No, that's ball 4. Like he was putting his hand up. So a walk to Fiducia. First and second. 2 men out. Back to the top of the order, and Yandy Diaz.
Yandy Diaz, who's hitting .453 with runners in scoring position. And if you look at the trio of Diaz, Aranda, and Caminero, they have 167 RBIs between the 3 of them. Only 2 teams have trios that have more: Washington and Houston.
Yankees will face Washington to end the first half of the season over the weekend in D.C.
They're going to see another big 3, Michael.
Yep. So Diaz grounded it short in the first. He went hitless last night. That dropped him 1 point below Yordan Alvarez for the American League batting average lead. We told you at the start, look out for him against lefties. So far, first time through the order, raised left-handed batters 2 for 5 against him in a home run. Also 2 walks. Now it's against the righty Diaz, who struggled. 2 for his last 25. And a strike. Ground ball, it's a base hit through the left side. Bellinger fields. Coming around third is Palacios. Here's the throw. Here's the play. Slides in safe. An RBI single for Diaz, and it's 2-0 Tampa Bay.
He got a pitch inside that he didn't have to extend that left shoulder on, and hits it past Caballero. Bellinger comes up and makes a really good throw, just not in time. Palacios too fast, and with 2 outs you can get big secondaries and be off on the crack of the bat because there's nothing to read. See the sinker, it's in off the plate.
Jonathan Aranda takes a strike.
And you could argue that this guy has been their best RBI guy the last 2 years. 329 this year, 367 last year in these situations. And he uses the middle of the field and left field as well as any left-handed hitter in the game.
Fly ball center field. Grisham is there, moves in a couple of steps, puts it away, and that'll do it. But 2 runs on 3 hits with 2 men left. We go to the third, 2-0 Tampa Bay. Major League Baseball taking over Philly with the game's biggest events. The action begins with the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on Netflix July 13th at 8 p.m. Then catch the 96 Major League Baseball All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. That's July 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern, and that'll be on Fox. Ben Rice says, we told you it's going to be in the Home Run Derby. We go to the third inning. Here's Max Schumann. Joe, I have a little bit of an alarming stat. At least I think it's alarming. 9 innings yesterday, 2 innings today. 11 innings in total. Yankees have struck out 22 times.
Yeah, they got to find a better way of putting the ball in play and putting some pressure on the Rays. They've been really reliant on the home run the last 22 games. To your point, Michael.
That one's deep to left. And it is hooking foul.
62% of the runs have come by the home run, where the major league average is 41. So if they're not hitting home runs, they're not scoring, and that's a hard way to live. In those 22 games, 175 with runners in scoring position.
And a bunt down the third base line. Bobbled by Seymour, throws to first, not in time. Schumann reaches. So bunt single. Schumann has been with 56 plate appearances, Joe. Now has been on base 23 times.
Yeah, which is over 40%. 40% coming tonight, and really a heads-up play. After hitting a home run foul, their baseman probably moves back a little bit. You lay one down, you hustle, and you beat it out.
So Schumann comes in hitting .214, so that just goes up. Joe, his OPS is .852.
Yeah, and it's because of his on base, a lot of it, and the couple home runs that he's hit. I mean,
he's been on base 23 times. You always look to your right to see if there's a bad throw, which he did, because it's coming from the pitcher out there. He has 10 hits, 11 walks, and 2 hit by pitches.
Well, he caught the attention of the Yankees in spring training. There wasn't room for him, but he got called up, and he's done a really nice job. And I think they're loath to send him back down. They like his versatility, and when you have an OPS that's in the 8s, they'll take that.
Every manager has a comfort zone with a player that plays all over the place. And when you find that guy, you don't ever want to let him go. For me, when I was with New York, it was Ronald Torres. And when I went to Philly, I brought him there because you knew you could put him anywhere and he would do the job. He would always be prepared. And that's what Schumann does. And sometimes they'll say, well, he doesn't hit enough. Well, that's not what we have him for. We have him to fill voids. Someone goes down, you need him to go in to do something. And he does a really good job at it. And those guys you want to play defense.
Sanchez pops it up right side. Palacios coming over, basket catch, and he holds on. Makes the catch in foul territory. He went a long way.
Well, this is tough because he's right behind second base, and Aranda, he's all turned around. He's got no chance, and he makes this play. And Schumann can't really get off the bag very much because the pitcher's covering. Seymour's covering first base. So if he catches it, he gets doubled off. So it's really just a tough read.
Here's Grisham. Upstairs. And a strike. Check out the Mass Mutual moment.
I like it. I mean, it's little ball, and sometimes you got to do whatever you can to get on base because there's some home run hitters that are coming up in the lineup, and that's exactly what he did.
Speaking of home run hitters, the Yankees have 6 players with 10 or more home runs, and that's tied with the Dodgers for the most in the majors. And Yankees have a couple knocking on the door. Grisham and Rosario have 9, and McMahon has 8 home runs. Popped up left side on the run. Simpson coming on, and he can't make the play, and the ball gets by him. Schumann is going to third. He's going to stop right there, and Grisham ends up at second with a bloop double.
The thing about Simpson is he has great speed, and he beats him a little bit on this fastball. It's a fastball right down the middle, but his routes are curved. That's not a direct line to that ball, and that's why he doesn't get there. And I've seen him a number of times dive after these balls, and they end up getting by and giving up extra bases, opposed to, you know what, I'm probably not going to get it. Let me pull up, and let's live for another day. Let it be first and second. Great job by Schumann. Get out as far as you can, because you know, because he had to dive, you can get closer to second base because he's not going to be able to come up throwing. Really excellent base running. Get a little closer. Oh, I got it, and I'm going.
So a meeting at the mound with Kyle Snyder. And the Yankees have an opportunity here, second and third with 1 man out. And if you believe in due, Paul Goldschmidt's due. He's 0 for his last 27 after a strikeout looking in the first inning. Only 1 in is Aranda, so they'll give up a run on a ground ball. And a strike. One and one. Yankees are down 2-0.
But look how far Aranda's able to get off first base. And the farther you get off, the more in the line you have to be between first and second, because if you get way back, that increases the distance by a lot.
Fouls it off, 1-2.
And you have to take into account the speed of the hitter to tell you how far I can get off first base.
Runners lead off second and third. One man out. Check swing, foul ball.
You can see how he's got the changeup running away from him, the sinker running away from him. He's got the sweeper coming into him, and he froze him on a four-seamer up in a way because I think he thought it was a sinker that was going to run off the plate.
1-2. Swing and a miss, and Goldschmidt's struggles continue. That's a big strikeout for Seymour.
And it wasn't a situation of him over-swinging or trying to do too much. He's trying to stay in the middle. He just gets beat a little bit by this fastball that's up in the zone. He's ready to hit. He's just going through it right now. What doesn't concern me about him is he's been through it before. Being a 7-time All-Star and an MVP, you know how to get yourself out of these situations.
Ben Rice hits one to left field and deep. Simpson back. He's on the track. See ya! A home run for Rice. A 3-run shot. And it gives the Yankees a 3-2 lead. Showing some power the other way. His 26th of the year.
Well, Earl Weaver liked to play for 3-run homers, and it seems like Aaron Boone does too down here in Tampa. And that's a huge hit. After it looked like he might get out of the inning, he takes him the other way. And this is not a ballpark that's easy to hit it out of. It's one of the bigger ballparks. What is that, 4 home runs in 7 games?
Yep.
He's getting hot again, Michael.
Getting ready for the Derby.
I mean, that's not that bad of a pitch. You know, I wouldn't consider that a home run pitch. It is somewhat up, but it is away. And that's not usually where all his power is.
0-2.
I thought Simpson had a chance at this, but he's 3 or 4 rows deep. See, he moves into second place in the AL, tied with Caminero with 26 home runs. The other thing the Yankees have done so far is they've made him work. This will be his 60th pitch. This is a guy that's not stretched out that long. I mean, I think he could give 90.
And another strikeout for the Yankees, 7 in 3 innings. But the home run is the great deodorant. It erases a lot of offensive problems. He goes the other way, Rice does. A 3-run blast, giving the Yankees a lead as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Tonight's picture is of Alexa. Her husband Darren and their daughter Avelina enjoyed a beautiful day at the stadium last weekend. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. So Ben Rice's career high tying 26th home run, giving the Yankees a 1-run lead. 3-run blast by Ben. Caminero takes a pitch outside from Will Warren. Warren struggled in the second. Let's see if he settles down now with the lead. And that one is ripped into left center field. On the run is Bellinger. and he's there to make the play. Well struck, but Bellinger got a good jump.
Yeah, he reacts right away. And this ball is hit into the gap, and he just cuts it off. Gets a great read on because he does not go back. He goes straight across, understanding where the ball is going to be. Had plenty of time. 6'3" helps a little bit, too.
Always.
Yes.
Here's Cedric Mullins, grounded foul. The Yankees have scored 8 runs in this series, all via the home run. 3-run shot by Caballero, solo shot by Caballero, solo shot by Rice yesterday, and a 3-run shot by Rice today.
They got a little competition going on. What you do, I can do better.
Why not?
Competition breeds success.
You know, in this ballpark, as Mullins down looking, that inning that the Yankees had, they were usually victimized by that inning. A bunt, a ball that should have been caught, and then make them pay with the home run.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. You give extra outs, and it leads to runs. And he's been victimized by that a lot this year, as he's given up 12 unearned runs.
Here's Chandler Simpson. Simpson tried to bunt, but the ball rolled foul up the third baseline in the second. Then he grounded one back to Warren. That one is looped into center field, coming on Grisham, and he makes the play as Warren retires the Rays in order. We're going to the fourth. Yankees up 3-2. Stream Brooklyn Nets Summer League games live on the Gotham Sports app this Friday at 6. Get a look at the new Nets draft picks as they take on the Knicks from Las Vegas. Access the Gotham Sports app for free with your TV subscription, or go to gothamsports.tv to learn more. Cody Bellinger leads off here in the fourth inning. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Seymour deals. 0-1. One and one. Cody 2 for his last 30. Ground ball first base, backhanded by Aranda. He'll take it himself. One away. That'll bring up Caballero. Play FanDuel's daily dinger for free every day for a chance at a profit boost. If your selected player hits a home run. Here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Caballero at a lusty plus 1,200. Josh Chisholm plus 600. Caballero had 2 home runs yesterday. No respect. Struck out looking in the second.
Chisholm's only 2 ahead of him, too.
Yep. I always can't wait for the postgame. Meredith does a great job. Bob and Jack back in the studio. I've got to find out what happened on Caballero's strikeout in the second. It's just mind-boggling. He just dropped the bat on a 3-2 pitch right down the middle. Dropped it as the pitch was coming. Have to find out why. Very curious.
Are you one of those guys that has to have a reason for everything?
Yeah, I like that. Isn't there a reason for everything?
I guess you could say that. I think you see a lot of things in this game that don't make sense, and you can't always understand what the reason is.
It goes deeper with me. I look at life. I want reasons for things that happen in life. We also have to find out why did he have the lamp black on.
You know, we need to get James to go
back this year and see what his numbers are with the war paint on and without the war paint. You'd have to watch each game, the first at bat that he has, to see if he has it on.
Well, there's games that he actually puts on the lamp black later, so it'd be hard. That one's tipped into the glove of Fiducia, so he strikes out for the second time.
Now, Michael, I actually had a conversation with Jose Caballero about putting on that eye black, and I asked him whether or not he'd allow you to do a tutorial with him one day, and he said, yeah, that's something he would definitely consider. So, Joe, what do you think?
I'd pay for that. You could wear it in the booth the whole night. Do the pregame with it on.
I would do that.
Yes.
Sure. I mean, was he talking about putting it on me, Meredith?
I think he's going to show you how to do it.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
I think you could put 3 stripes on.
Because I have a big head? Is that it, Joe? Okay. All right, we're going there. You know, I expect that from O'Neill, even Cone, not you.
Guys, I have so many things to ask Caballero after this game and to tell him that, Michael, you're interested.
Oh, I'll do it tomorrow.
I wanted to know why Jason Dominguez wasn't granted time yesterday, or the challenge.
Well, I looked into that. The home plate umpire, Emil Jimenez, thought that the dugout prompted him to do it. He didn't do it fast enough. And Boone said, the dugout's always going to react if they think a pitch is out of the zone. He said, and he did do it fast enough. And the same crew did the same thing to Dominguez back at the stadium. And down looking is Chisholm. The Yankees have struck out 9 times in 4 innings. Time for the Optimum Fiber famously fast replay.
That was high and it was long, Michael. It wasn't necessarily so fast, but he hit his 4th home run of the year. Victor Mesa Jr. 10 RBIs now in the season.
And he jumps on the first pitch and lofts it to shallow left field. Bellinger will put it away. Joe, very quietly, man, they have struck out 26 times in 13 innings. And again, no knock on the pitchers that the Rays are throwing. They're good pitchers, but they're not dominating. They're not Jacob Mizorowski. It's 26 strikeouts in 13 innings.
Yeah, I mean, you look at, like, their strikeout rates, too. I mean, I know Seymour is 26%. Major League average is like 22%. But yesterday, 17. Today, it's
unbelievable. It's 2 strikeouts an inning. And again, we always joke about it. Home runs are the great deodorant. It erases a lot of bad. It did last night, and it's done today. At this point, that one skied to left, and Bellinger couldn't see it. Bellinger lost sight of it, spread his hands out. That's a ball that he could catch, but he couldn't see it.
Yeah. I mean, at least he ran the right direction. Right? You can see him. He puts his hands up, and he knows, like, okay, where to go? I lost it. I'm not quite sure if he would have got there, but it would have been close.
The new roof is a little bit more difficult to see the ball than the old roof.
And the panels still aren't all the same colors. They are going to fade to be the same colors. So far, they're not yet. It's much more than when we were here the first time.
Yes. And the difference between this and the old roof, this is a little bit more translucent, and it's not doubled. It's one layer.
I'm curious to see Thursday, the day game, the difference.
They're saying it should be very difficult.
Very difficult. If you're an outfielder, infield, you cannot take your eye off the ball.
2-2 on Walls.
And Michael, you guys are talking about the roof, and yesterday you had noted that there's only one layer on this roof instead of the 2, and that's because there's been an advancement in the material that they use. It's a Teflon-coated fiberglass, and they actually met with the city, the Rays, and several other officials to make sure that that roof could withstand everything it needed to, up to 165-mile-an-hour winds with just the one layer instead of having to add a second layer like they originally had on that first roof.
Well, they did a great job
Yeah, it doesn't seem
retrofitting it.
Go ahead.
And people have given up that they're going to be able to play here, but here they are a year later.
Yeah, and it seems to be a good place for them. They're 31-13 this year.
And at Steinbrenner Field, they were just one game over 500, 41-40. So a single for Walls. And that ball blocked by Sanchez, 1-0 on Palacios. Ray's still trying to get a new home built on the other side of the bay in Tampa. This is in St. Pete. And the site that they have been looking at is right near Steinbrenner Field.
Is there a projected date?
Well, they haven't had everything buttoned up with the government, so there is not. You can say they have not broken ground or anything like that. They need the funding. They have new ownership here now. We've heard this for years, that they don't draw very well, but they get really high television ratings. So there's interest in the team here, but it's in a spot that they're not drawing very well. That one is ripped into right center field. That ball is past a diving Schumann, and it goes to the wall. Walls rounds third. He's coming home. The throw is not in time. It's an RBI double for Palacios, and the game is tied at 3.
Yeah, Palacios has been a thorn in the side of the Yankees so far this year. 5 for 13, had an RBI last night, an RBI tonight as Schumann lays out, and he's not able to get to it. Good job of Grisham backing up and getting the ball in, and it was a good relay. See Walls reading, and then he takes off, and he knows he's going to score once he knows it gets over Schumann's head. Slides head first, which I don't recommend, but catchers don't block the plate anymore, so it's a little easier to do. But again, it's the left-handed hitters that are getting it. But that's all they have in the lineup tonight.
Pickoff, not in time. Quick tag by Caballero, but Palacios gets back.
Yeah, it looked like a little two-seamer that was up, thigh high to belt high over the plate. Not happy with it.
Why is he running into that problem? Because at the beginning last year, did he have somebody or something to get out lefties? Then he did figure it out, and at the beginning of this year, he was very good at it. What's gone wrong?
Well, I think that he's making more mistakes with his fastball, and his breaking ball has not been successful enough. I always say the true picture of pitchers is from the month June through August and September, when it gets warm and everyone is playing and has at-bats under their belt.
That's driven deep to right field. Schumann back, track, wall. See ya. A home run for Fiducia. Another blast by a left-hander. A 2-run shot. And the Rays retake the lead.
And what I was saying is when it warms up, the ball starts to carry. Hitters are more comfortable because they have at-bats under their belt. It's not cold out. They don't have 3 layers of clothes on. And you see what pitching really is.
Here's Diaz. Takes pitch up and away.
I mean, again, it's a 4-seamer in its middle and its belt, but it doesn't have the velocity that a Cam's fastball does. And hitters are catching up to it right now. And he will figure it out because he's shown that he has the ability to make adjustments. But he's going to have to make an adjustment to be more successful.
Fly ball right field. Going back Schumann. He's on the track at the wall. See ya. Diaz goes the other way. Back-to-back home runs against Will Warren. And the Rays are up by 3.
Diaz, who had been struggling mightily coming into this game, now has 2 hits, a couple RBIs, a big 2-out single in the second, and this home run right here. And this is where you got to stop it, Michael. You got to say, okay, it's not going my way right now, but I got to start to make better pitches. You see the sweeper there that's up in the zone. What we've seen is the balls up have gotten hit really, really hard. And he's not a guy that pitches down a lot, except with his curveball and his changeup, and we have not seen a ton of them. Yanni Diaz uses all fields so well. It's like he has somebody in the stands that he's pointing to. Maybe his family.
Here's Aranda. And a strike. So Diaz, after grounding out in the first, 2 for his last 25. Then the RBI single and the home run here. Served into left field. Coming on, Bellinger, he makes the play. 2 down. It's a nice play by the left fielder.
Yeah, that's the one thing about having a complete player in Cody Bellinger. When one side is not going well, he can still play really well on the other side of the baseball, and he's also a very good base runner. Gets a really good jump. This is not an easy read. The line drive right at you is the hardest read, and he makes that catch pretty easy.
Caminero takes outside 1-0. So 6-3 Tampa Bay. Will Warren, a season-high 3 home runs allowed tonight. (2-0) on Caminero. Hit sharply at short. Caballero fields. And the scoop by Goldschmidt to retire Caminero. 2 home runs, 4 runs, and the Rays are in front. Time for tonight's injury report, brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital in New York Yankees. Max Fried expected to throw live BP on Saturday. That's in Somerset. He's been on the IL since May 14th with left elbow bone bruise. Max Schumann's going to start off the 5th inning. Audi scoreboard, Tampa Bay leads 6-3. After the bunt, Caminero is in on what would be the grass at third, trying to take that away from Schumann. Had a bunt single starting off the 3rd and came around to score on Rice's 3-run home run later in the inning. 0-2. Six runs, 7 hits for Tampa Bay. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Yankees. Second game of a 4-game set. And the count 2-2. Off the glove of Fiducia, and the count is full. And the pitch. Fouled away.
Max gives good at bats. They don't always turn into hits, but they have been productive and they have been on base.
Well, his average is up to 233. His on-base percentage is up to 411. And his OPS up to 876. And he strikes out. 10th Yankee strikeout.
Yeah, it's just a really good 3-2 changeup. You see the bottom drop out of that pitch, and then hitters become so much more aggressive 3-2 than 2-2, and I think it's that thought process. He's going to throw me a fastball, and they don't.
And a backdoor breaking ball, a strike to Ali Sanchez. That one is looped into center field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Sanchez with a one-out single.
Center field. Yeah, off the end of the bat, but he gets it in the air and is able to drop it in front of Mullins. Simpson hit a ball like that in the 3rd inning, and because of the positioning of the Yankees, understanding he didn't have a lot of power, Grisham was able to get to it. But Sanchez has a little more power, and they play a little bit deeper, and it falls in.
And the pitch to Grisham is inside. The 10 strikeouts tonight for Seymour, that's a career high. And it's the 5th inning. You know, Joe, you celebrate wins anytime you get them. And the Yankees won that game yesterday 5-1. Slitler was great, the 3 home runs, but there are things that you had to notice. They had 3 hits, all of them home runs. They struck out 17 times. And the offense, in essence, stalled, but it was a race because of the home runs. Now, 1 out into the 5th inning, they have 10 more strikeouts. And the runs are scored via the home run. Again, they're built to hit home runs, I get it. But this lineup right now, there are some dead spots in the order.
Yes, there is, because guys are struggling. The bottom of the order has not been as productive as we would have thought they would have been, and for whatever reason.
Another strikeout as Grisham down swinging. The 11th strikeout for Seymour.
But here's the way I look at it. Like, you can't try to do too much, as Aaron Judge talked about. It's just a changeup. It doesn't run back. It just kind of stays straight, and I think that's why Fiducia misses it. But try to raise your average 10 points a month. That's it. Don't try to raise it 40 points in a month, because you're going to be chasing hits, and then you're going to be swinging at pitches you shouldn't be.
Goldschmidt has struck out twice against Seymour. He's 0 for 2.
Do the little things. Have, from pitch to pitch, make good judgments. And if you do that, you're going to get your hits.
Now, Paul is 0 for his last 28, which is the second longest hitless streak of his career. So his longest is 0 for 32 from April through May of 2024 with St. Louis.
I somewhat remember that, and that was a time that he was playing with his stance. He was trying to. He said he didn't feel comfortable doing what he used to do, and he couldn't get comfortable. He ended up making it a switch to this, and had a pretty good second half with St. Louis in 24.
2-2. Sanchez leads off first, held there by Aranda. Yankees have action in the bullpen. Tampa Bay gets a pitcher up as well.
He's actually a pretty high leverage reliever.
Yeah.
They're worried if a couple guys get on that to get out of the inning, you bring the high leverage guy in.
High pop-up on the left side. Fiducia gives it a look and can't get there. Bounces in front of the Yankee dugout.
He didn't do a very good job with his mask because he almost tripped over it. You're taught to throw it to the side. Sure, if he dropped it just too late, you're going to see him go after this ball. He's looking for it. He finds it. He finds it. You're supposed to toss it, but he just kind of drops it. I guess it wasn't completely in his way. And if he would have flung it, he might have hit Caminero.
And he had a double drop. The helmet went off first, and then the mask a little bit later. Two and two. Seymour deals. Strike three. Mind-boggling. 3 more strikeouts. 12 in 5 innings. 29 in 14 innings. We're halfway through. It's time to name that Yankee. Brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. 91 to 2006. 2,336 hits, 4 World Series titles, 287 home runs. You got it?
Oh, I was kind of staring. I was thinking.
Okay.
I wasn't looking at that.
I'll give you a little bit of a hint. Today was his major league debut.
Was it?
Back in '91. Tim Hill takes over for Will Warren. I don't like the pressure that they're putting on you, Joe.
No, I just...
It's not right.
Troy better hope that the tables are never turned here.
Our producer, Troy Benjamin, is giving Joe Girardi such grief right now.
And he's making the assumption that I don't know it.
Right, and that's not right either.
Can you just be coy once in a while?
Troy don't be coy. He doesn't play coy.
I got him yelling in my ear. Michael, the one thing that I've noticed about the pop-ups, catchers seem to have the hardest time on pop-ups here.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because they don't really see it off the bat in the air like everybody else does. Remember Fortes overran the one yesterday?
Yes, yep.
Yeah.
Lined, and oh, what a play by Goldschmidt. Took a base hit away. 1 down.
Like Belly, you never forget that there's 2 sides of the baseball, and that's what Goldie did there. He's been going through a heck of a time, but he lays out and makes that grab to keep Mullins off first base, but May even got to second.
So 4 innings of Warren, then they lift him. He had a rough 4th inning with the 2 home runs, 4 hits, and 4 runs, and that's why the Rays are leading this one 6-3.
I wonder if Simpson will ever do the Tony Fernandez where you square around the bunt and then you swing.
The Butcher Boy?
Yeah, but it really wasn't called a Butcher Boy with nobody on base. I don't know why. But you see how far Rosario is in.
Jazz Chisholm gets Simpson.
You should be always trying to add things to your game as you go along in your career.
Here's Victor Mesa. And there's a drag bunt. And there's a base hit, beautifully executed. So he hits a home run in the 2nd and a drag bunt single here in the 5th.
There's a situation where you just have to get it by the pitcher. You see Goldie back, and if you get it by the pitcher, you're probably going to beat it out. And Jazz is not able to get over there in time. Mesa is someone that doesn't bunt a lot, but has the ability to do it, and I'm not surprised. He's a Tampa Bay Ray.
Here's Walls, who started the mess in the 4th inning with a single to right. We said this last night. He seems to really hurt the Yankees more than any. This is a guy who's under the Mendoza line career-wise, a 199 career hitter. Against the Yankees, not so. But he grounds out to Chisholm to end the inning. No runs to hit, and 1 man left. We go to the 6th inning, 6-3.
Everybody, Bob Lorenz with your Audi update. Braves and Pirates tonight, bottom of the 1st. That's Ryan O'Hearn unloading out to right center. It's a grand slam to make it 4-1 Pirates. And then bottom of the 3rd, O'Hearn right back at it. 2 aboard. That's a 3-run shot. 2 homers, 7 runs batted in, most for a Pirate since 2019 in Josh Bell. Guys.
Thank you, Bob. We go around the majors. Paul Skeens inexplicably really struggling. Matt Olson, 2 home runs last night, 24 for the season, 4th in the National League. And the Blue Jays snapped a 29-inning scoreless streak last night. Skeens tonight, 5 innings, 2 runs, a walk and 4 strikeouts. Ben Rice leads off, and there's a strike. What do you think is the deal with Skeens? I know the velocity's down a tick.
You're seeing more. I mean, velocity is important when you're up in that upper echelon, because every mile an hour over, it just really, the average goes way down. And I just think it shows you how tough this game is.
Hit sharply and right at Aranda. So Rice hit it well, but he grounds out the first, out number 1.
I mean, even some of the greatest players struggle. And that's why, you know, you have to be reminded of that, and you have to keep fighting as a player, because it happens to the Derek Jeters. We saw he hit under 201 first half. You see the struggles that Skeens is going through. It just happens, and you got to fight.
So Seymour with 12 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings that kept him in to face the lefty Rice. With Rosario coming up, they're going to go to Kevin Kelly. So into the bullpen goes Kevin Cash. That's going to do it for Seymour, but he pitched very well.
Well, he used all his pitches. You see the backdoor sweeper. They're going to see a 4-seamer up to Jazz Chisholm. This 3-2 changeup to Max Schumann. He had everything working tonight. He made the 1 mistake to Ben Rice. Gave up the home run. But 12 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings.
Well, Ryan McMahon pinch hitting for Rosario against Kelly. Fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. He gets ground balls, Kelly does. Career high 12 strikeouts for Seymour in 5 1/3. That one is lined up the middle of base hit. Pinch hit single for Ryan McMahon.
Well, lefties have had so much more success because of the sidearm motion and the sinking action. Lefties 258, righties 157. Ryan McMahon stays on the sinker away from him and just lines it up the middle. They just got to stack some hits up back to back, and maybe someone can hit a home run or hit a ball in the gap. You can get closer, because the bullpen for the Rays is not great. Their closers, really good, but the bullpen overall is about 21st, 22nd in baseball.
Bellinger works the count 2-0. Cody is 0 for 2 tonight. There's a base hit for Bellinger. Into right field. The throw into third, not in time. That Bellinger hung up. And he is out at first. I believe that was a signal by Eddings. Yep, he's out at first as he went too far around the bag. That is not good base running by Bellinger.
Yeah, you make an out on the bases in a time where you're struggling offensively, and it just seems to really multiply. And a good job by Mesa Jr. throwing this ball and hitting the cutoff, allowing, actually missed the cutoff, but Caminero made the smart decision. He came and left his position knowing that he wasn't going to get big man, and got Cody, who rounded first and was thinking of going second because he saw the ball so high. Really good job by Caminero.
So 2 outs, runner at third, an 0-1 count on Caballero. And a strike.
Makes a good strong throw. He's got a really strong arm, accurate, a quick tag by Aranda. You see the strong arm by Mesa. It gets to Caminero really quickly.
And Caballero strikes out as a runner is stranded at third. Caballero, after 2 home runs yesterday, has struck out 3 times tonight. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. By the New York Lottery. Play today and start imagining your win. And by Nissan. Hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop nissanusa.com. Yankees down 6-3 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Tim Hill remains in. So Ben Williamson is going to pinch hit for Palacios, who was 2 for 2.
Sure, the Yankees are probably happy to see Palacios out of the lineup.
All the players on the bench for the Rays right-handers. That one's right back to the mound. 1 away.
Well, they stacked as many lefties as they could against Will Warren. 6 lefties, 1 switch hitter, and that's why all the righties are on the bench right now.
So here is Fiducia, who had that 2-run home run in the 4th inning. And there's a strike. They don't want to use their second catcher here in the 6th inning, pinch hitting for Fiducia. Ground ball first base. Goldschmidt beats Fiducia to the bag, 2 away. Is going to do it for Hill with Diaz coming up. Blackburn's coming in as Boone goes to the bullpen. The New York Yankee Foundation's 50-50 raffle is now open. The next 50-50 raffle has a guaranteed starting jackpot of $50,000. One lucky fan will take home half the pot. The other half benefits the Yankees Foundation. Buy your tickets now at yankees.com/5050. Blackburn deals to Diaz a ball. Diaz has broken out of his slump with an RBI single in the 2nd and a home run in the 4th.
Yeah, the numbers on Blackburn are tremendous, and he's gotten better each month. 2.70 in May, a 1.17 in June. He hasn't given up a run so far in the month of July. Been really impressed with the job that he's done.
And you can see the trust factors through the roof, the leverage situations much higher. So he's going to Blackburn a lot.
And guys, I spoke to Paul Blackburn the other day, and he said nothing really changed as far as pitch shape or anything like that. It's all been a change in his mentality. Every time he goes out to the mound, he knows he has to have the attack mindset. He wants to attack first every time.
Being ahead in the count is so important because it just puts hitters on defense. A lot of them cut down their swings. There's not as much damage. You can get them to chase.
waved at that. 3-2. Check out the Yankee bullpen budget brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Only Bednar pitched last night because Schlittler gave them 8. They don't like to pitch 3 days out of 4, so Doval and Bird might not be available, but in an emergency they could be. Up the middle slowly, fielded there by Caballero, and he gets Diaz, and that'll do it. So the Rays go down in order against 2 Yankee pitchers, and we go to the 7th. Well, the Yankees return to Prime tomorrow to take on the Rays. Don't miss a minute of the Yankees, beginning at 6, only on Prime. So we go to the 7th inning. Ford scoreboard 6-3 Tampa Bay. And Jazz Chisholm will lead off against Kelly. Base hit. Kelly has not been all that effective as Chisholm leads up with a single. He thinks about going to second, makes a big turn, stops right there.
Well, he was in to get the right-handers out, and he got Caballero out. The left-handers he's going to struggle against because of his arm angle. A good approach by Jazz Chisholm, not to try to hit it too hard. Don't hurt your toe, Jazz. Stays through this ball, hits a nice line drive between first and second.
Well, with Schumann due up, they're sending up Jason Dominguez. Cam Boozer is up, and Kyle Snyder will lope to the mound to talk with Kelly. So Dominguez pinch hitting for Schumann. Well, the Yankees have done their damage with the home run. This is via the MLB Network, Joe. Over the last 22 games where the Yankees are struggling, entering tonight, 62% of the Yankee runs have scored via the home run. The league average is 41%.
Yeah, it's a hard way to live all the time, and obviously they're missing a lot of power in Judge and Stanton, which I think changes the complexion of the lineup. You got to stack some hits.
Pitch outside.
I know what the numbers are, being right-handed, but I'm surprised they didn't turn Dominguez around. This year, he's been much better right-handed.
And there's a base hit past the diving Aranda. Jazz Chisholm will go to third. The throw comes into second. Back-to-back singles by the Yankees. A pinch hit single by Dominguez. First and third, and nobody out.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like the left-handers are seeing Kelly really, really well. And he has pitched well since the month of April, but not tonight. The Yankees have put a bunch of hits on him. That's 4. Now they have first and third, nobody out. Got to find a way to get a couple runs in here.
They're back for the double play. Here's Sanchez. Oh, and 1. Kelly has a high ground ball rate, 61.7%. And the Rays would like to see one for a double play, and they'll give up that run.
And if you're Sanchez, because the ball sinks so much, you have to tell yourself to hit the bottom of the baseball.
Runner goes. Yankees trying to stay out of the double play, and the ball fouled off.
I like that because he's not a high strikeout. He's a low walk and a low strikeout guy because there's not a lot of power there. But you stay out of the double play that way. If he hits a ground ball to short, you got a runner on second, a run in, and you don't have 2 outs. On the right there, you have left-hander A. On the left, you have left-hander B.
High fly ball, right center. Nessa makes the play. Tagging is Chisholm. He'll score. Throw comes into second. It's a sac fly for Sanchez. And now the Yankees are down by 2, 6-4.
And Clevenger is their high leverage left-hander. I would think that you would see him over Boozer now because it's just one swing of the bat and it's a tie game. No, it's actually going to be Boozer.
Kevin Cash makes a signal with Grisham due up. Grisham, Goldschmidt, and Rice ready to go. Yankees are down by 2. Tying run at the plate. On Tuesday, July 21st, come out to Yankee Stadium and celebrate the magic of Harry Potter and Yankees baseball. First 18,000 guests in attendance receive a special Aaron Judge Harry Potter bobblehead in one of the 4 Harry Potter house colors. Specific house will be distributed at random upon entrance. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today, Yankees.com. Boozer against Grisham. High fly ball, right center. Giving chase is Mullins, and he'll make the play. All the way to the warning track, but out number 2.
Good communication between Mullins and Mesa, because I think Mesa thought he was going to be the one that gets us. And the ball that's been hit hard off of Boozer is that cutter. And you can see him drop his head. He was worried, but you could see Mullins yelling at him, and he's going to wave him off with his arm. Sometimes you have to give both signals. I got it, get out of the way, get out of the way. Mesa pulls back. Nice running catch by Mullins. Really good communication.
Pitch is way high to Goldschmidt. So lefty's now 1 for 17 against Boozer. 34-year-old lefty, but now he has to get out of righty, Paul Goldschmidt.
Coming in tonight, hitters were 1 for 18 off his 4-seamer. 6 for 20 on his cutter with 2 home runs. He almost gave up another one.
And he throws it over the head of Aranda. And is bouncing around in the bullpen. Dominguez will go to third as Mesa gets the ball in. That is a big-time E1.
Well, he put a little bit too much on that 4-seamer to first base, Michael. And I know you want to elevate the 4-seamer to hitters, but not necessarily to the first baseman. It's exactly what he did. Dominguez's speed allows him to get to third base. He finds the ball himself. I love it. Don't look for the coach. You can find the baseball yourself. Easy to third base.
The 1-0 to Goldschmidt. 2-0. Paul has struck out 3 times tonight. And a strike. One of 2 lefties in the bullpen for Tampa Bay. Boozer deals. Up and away. And the dangerous Ben Rice is on deck. Legumina and Clevenger up for the Rays. The 3-1. There's that cutter, 3-2.
Yeah, he gets this one down in the zone, and it's actually a good cutter, but so many of his pitches that he leaves up. He uses his 4-seamer up, his cutter up, gets hit hard.
And the 3-2. Swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts for Paul Goldschmidt, and that ends the Yankees' threat here in the 7th. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error. Time for the stretch. Yankees down by 2. Thank you, guys. 6-8-1 for Tampa Bay, 4-9-0 for the Yanks. Warren lasted 4. Seymour went 5 1/3. Home runs by Mesa, Fiducia, and Diaz, and Ben Rice with a 3-run home run. It's 26. That's a career high, tying. 2 for 3 on the game for Ben Rice. Blackburn remains in. And the first pitch is a ground ball off the bat of Aranda. 1 pitch, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th.
When you look at this box score, it's really been the bottom of the order that's killed the Yankees. Now, Diaz has had a good night, but you look at 2, 3, 4, and 5, they've only been on base one time tonight via the walk, and that was Aranda in the first inning.
So here is Junior Caminero, and there's a strike from Blackburn. Oh, and 2 on the Rays third baseman. 26 home runs, 56 runs batted in. He's going to the All-Star game. Dominguez is in right field after pinch hitting, getting a single, hitting for Schumann. Strike 3. Caminero down looking. Yankees have kept him under control in these 2 games.
You need to knock on wood when you stay like that. This is just a two-seamer that starts off the plate, comes back a little bit, just enough, 95. Threw him a good curveball. The big thing is getting ahead of him, because he does not chase a lot early in the count, but he will chase some at the end of the counts.
Mullins pops it up. Sanchez gives it a look, but it's in the seats, out of play. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Tampa Bay leads the Yankees 6-4. Oh and 1 on Mullins, who's 0 for 3.
Michael, we have Dwayne Stat's grandson up here.
Yep.
Our statistician Gabe. And that pop-up that Mullins just hit foul, he went like this and didn't see it. That's not good, because he's only got 21-year-old eyes. He's supposed to be telling us where they are.
And we're going to have Dwayne on our batting practice show tomorrow. Five years as a Yankee broadcaster with Tony Kubek.
He's been doing it a long time.
51 years. He was the voice of the Yankees on MSG from 1990 to 1994. And there is a walk to Mullins. There's Chandler Simpson. He's 0 for 3. He has a 9-game hitting streak working. McMahon is in on the what would be the grass at third.
The catcher is challenging the ball call.
That's a ball, but it's challenged by Sanchez. Yankees have 2 challenges. And it is a ball.
The call is confirmed. New York has 1 challenge remaining.
Yeah, and if you're Blackburn, you got a lot of speed to contend with. You got speed at first. Mullins got 14 bags. You got speed at the plate. Got to be worried about the bunt if you're third base, first base.
Foul back to the screen. 1-1. Now 1-2. Yankees about hit the Rays, but the Rays leading 6-4. Yankees have 9 hits to the Rays 8.
I'm glad you brought that up, because when's the last time they had 9 hits in a game? I mean,
been a while.
Yeah,
right.
Maybe it's starting to turn.
Two and 2 on Simpson. Runner goes. into right center field. And Grisham cuts in front of Dominguez to make the play to end the inning. We go to the 8th. Yankees down by 2. Well, fans, the next game on Yes is Thursday afternoon as the Yankees wrap up this 4-game series with the Rays. FanDuel pregame coverage starts at 12:30, leading up the first pitch shortly after 1 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Don't know people are leaving. A good game going to the 8th inning. And Grisham runs in front of Dominguez to make the final out, and then they talk. And he tells him, listen, I'm a center fielder. I'm going to take that ball.
Yeah, that's where the communication is so important. And young guys can be over-aggressive in the outfield. I remember Corey Patterson, when he was their center fielder, young center fielder with the Cubs. He ran into everybody. Everybody.
New pitcher is Garrett Clevenger. So they'd like Clevenger to pitch the 8th, and then they bring in their all-star Brian Baker for the 9th. And there's a strike to Rice.
Yeah, his sinker slider combination is really, really good. He's a high strikeout guy, almost 31%. He will walk some people, almost 11%.
So, Joe, the strikeout by Goldschmidt in the 7th was the 14th Yankee strikeout of the night. They had 17 yesterday. So the 31 strikeouts over 2 games, and there's still 6 outs remaining. That's a new all-time record over 2 games for the New York Yankees. And that's a history that dates back to 1903.
But the positive sign is they have 9 hits tonight.
9 hits, the most they've had since they had 9 on June 23rd in Detroit. Now they have 10. Against the left-hander, Ben Rice picks up his 3rd hit of the night.
Yeah, his at-bats have been good all night. He kind of started getting it going the last 3 or 4 days. You're going to see him stay on the slide. It's just flat, and a flat breaking ball is easy for a hitter to hit. It's the ones that have the sweep and the depth that become a problem. Now the Yankees have the tying run to the plate.
And they're going to send Volpe up the pinch hit for McMahon. So Snyder will go off how they want to pitch to Volpe. Anthony comes up 4 for his last 33. He's the only right-hander on the bench for Aaron Boone. So McMahon pinch hit for Rosario and picked up a single in the 6th.
He has been really streaky this year because before that he was 14 for 30. The previous 9 games before, what you're talking about, Michael. And if Clevenger's going to pound you with those sinkers away, you have to be willing to shoot the ball the other way. There's a huge hole between first and second.
Inside to Volpe. 1 man remaining on the bench for the Yankees. That's Austin Wells. They've used McMahon, Dominguez, now Volpe. Missed inside, so 2-0. Volpe is up as a tying run. And a strike. 2-1. Clevenger working quickly. 2-2. That has not left his shoulder yet.
Yeah, I think he's trying to push him away, and I thought he thought that ball was going to be in. He had thrown him a number of sliders down and in. This one had the sinking action to it and ran away from him. Find a way to put the ball in play here. See if he can hit that hole between first and second.
The 2-2. He tries. Ground ball at second base. There's one. And that's all they'll get.
Williamson does a nice job making sure he secures the baseball. He makes a good flip. You're not going to get two on this ball. It's not hit hard enough. Taylor Walls does a good job of eating it. You still have the double play in order now.
Clevenger, 17 career games against the Yankees, 1.13 ERA. And his last 10 games for the Rays, he has a 1 ERA. Bellinger got a hit his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Foul back.
Well, you can see why he has success because of the late movement on that sinker. I mean, that sinker's 96, 97, and it's got late movement.
Cole Sulser is up. Grounded foul. Yanks led this game 3-2 at the end of 2.5, but 4 runs in the 4th inning for the Rays. It's held up so far. Yankees trying to fight their way back. Scored a run in the 7th. Now a runner on first base with 1 man out. The 0-2.
I like what Volpe's doing at first base. He's playing it safe. You're going to see him foul off this slider. Again, it's flat. If it has depth, I think he swings and misses it. But Volpe's first move has been back to the base. As soon as he kicks up, he cannot get picked off. He can't get fooled.
Swing and a miss. Bellinger down on strikes. 15th Yankee strikeout of the night.
Just a high 4-seamer up in the zone, almost a perfect pitch, 98 miles an hour just off the plate. Gets Cody to expand a little bit for a strikeout, a big strikeout.
Here's Caballero, the hero last night with the 2 home runs. He has 3 strikeouts tonight. It was an odd way that Caballero got traded to the Yankees. They were playing the Yankees. It was at the trade deadline. And he had to march from the Rays clubhouse to the Yankee clubhouse mid-game. And he's done quite well against the Rays in the Yankee uniform. Trade was on July 31st of last season for Everson Pereira and a player to be named later who turned out to be Marshall Toole. The 0-1, 0-2. Yankees looking for more of this, Joe.
Yeah, he got this change up for a home run, a 3-run homer in the 5th. Clevenger throwing a little bit harder, and you see this sinker that's up in the zone that he hits in the 8th to make the score 4-1. Just need one more swing of the bat right here.
Trying to get Volpe at first. The 0-2 upstairs. With the Yankees 4 home runs and 10 ribbies in 9 games against Tampa Bay. Swing and a miss. He strikes out for the 4th time. The 16th Yankee strikeout. Clevenger puts up a 0 in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Rays lead by 2. Well, tomorrow, check out the next Major League Cricket match on YES's reigning champion MI New York battle the San Francisco Unicorns. Watch batsmen, bowlers, and the sport that shares some of baseball's DNA tomorrow at 8:30 on the Gotham Sports app. And there's a strike as we start the bottom of the 8th inning. 4 strikeouts for Caballero as he moves to third base, and Volpe takes over at short. Hedrick on the mound. Oh, and 2.
That slider there has a whiff rate of 53%, Michael. Number 3 in baseball. The only 2 pitches that are swung and missed more is Mason Miller's slider at 57 and Fernando Cruz's split at almost 56.
Popped up. Who's going to get it? It's the catcher Sanchez with a basket catch for the first out.
I think I would have been pointing at that. Come on, Cabby. Come on, Cabby.
Well, there's the All-Star. Brian Baker will try to get the final 3 outs in the 9th inning. Yankees down 6-4. Here's Taylor Walls. He's 1 for 3. And a strike from Hedrick. And the count 0-2. Swing and a miss. Walls down on strikes, 2 away. Well, fans, after the final, I'll get highlights, analysis, clubhouse interviews, and we'll hear from the manager. All coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. Will the Yankees come back and make it a happy recap, or will it be less than happy? Here's Ben Williamson. Pinch hit for Palacios in the 6th inning and grounded back to the mound. Two 2-0. Want to look ahead to the 9th inning for the Yankees. It's the bottom of the order. Chisholm, Dominguez, and Sanchez. Two and 2. Strike 3. Another strong outing for Brent Hedrick. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? They'll have to do it against the All-Star Baker. Time to answer Name That Yankee. Those are the clues.
I got to make sure you don't work alone tomorrow, so Bernie Williams.
You got it. Burn, baby, burn. Major League debut on this date, 1991. And here's some video from that day. Flanked by Mullins and Jesse Barfield. Bernabe, 4 World Series championships. And the thing you always have to appreciate about Bernie, he was there in the bad times, so he really got to enjoy and be a part of the great times. 0-1 to Chisholm. High fly ball, right center. Mullins, one out. '80 ribbies in the postseason, most in baseball history. 5-time All-Star, 4 Gold Gloves, won the batting championship in the great year of '98. And his debut, a single off of Greg Olson, was his first hit.
Great postseason player. Never forget the bat flip when he took Randy Myers deep at the stadium in extra innings. See the numbers on Baker. I mean, he's really a north-south pitcher. A 4-seamer up, get up to 99, and a really good changeup down. There's a 4-seamer down, but a good percentage of them are up in the zone and a really good changeup.
23 saves, ranked second in the American League to Cade Smith's 26. Named to his first All-Star team at the age of 31.
And he's really just a 2-pitch pitcher. He does have a slider he doesn't use very often. He used to also have a curveball. He got rid of that. I mean, he's really developed into quite a pitcher.
And he did not come out of spring training as the closer. The Rays didn't know what they were going to do when Pete Fairbanks left for Miami. Edwin Uceda got hurt. Clevenger struggled early, then got hurt. And Griffin Jax was converted to starting in April. So by default, Baker took the chance, and he's going to the All-Star game. Grounded second base, Williamson. And the Yankees are down to their final out. So they stay with Sanchez against the right-hander Baker. 1 for 2 with a sac fly. Foul back.
I like this. His splits are equal. Both lefties and righties are hitting about 145 off it. Keep the guy that's in the game, that has a feel for the game, instead of pinch hitting.
And it looks like Sanchez keeps the game alive with a line drive to left center field. So a 2-out single, and the Yankees still have a pulse as Grisham comes up as the tying run.
Well, they've had some chances, and they've had a lot of fight in this game, and it puts some runners on. If they could just get one big hit here, they could tie this game up by Grisham, who's had some pretty good at-bats today. Sanchez, the second hit of the night.
Grisham, 9 home runs. He is 1 for 4. Paul Goldschmidt is on deck. Baker deals. 1-0. Yankees have pounded out 11 hits. Grisham against Brian Baker, 1 for 3 with a home run. Not holding Sanchez on at first. He'll take off. There's a strike. Sanchez moves to second. That run means nothing. It does take away the force. The 1-1. And the Yankees are down to their final strike. Baker, 5th Tampa Bay pitcher, trying to close it out. And the pitch. Nub foul.
It's a really good changeup down, and that's the thing that he does. He goes down with his legs, and he does not go forward. He sees the ball a long time, was able to just nip it. One more shot at this.
And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. And the Rays hold off the Yankees and win 6-4. 16 Yankee strikeouts. A lot of wasted opportunities. The offense came alive, but couldn't push the runs across. And this series is even at a game apiece. After yesterday's 5-1 victory, they lose 6-4 today.
Yeah, just a really good pitch by Baker, and you see the emotion out of him. He knows this is a big game. They lost yesterday, and they want to keep their lead. But the good thing about the Yankees is they put a lot of hits up there today. Hopefully that can carry over tomorrow, and they get some bats a little bit healthier and start scoring some more runs.
So that'll do it on this Tuesday evening in St. Pete. Baker, the All-Star, nails it down. 6-4, Rays beat the Yankees. We'll come back, and then the postgame after that. Well, the Rays win 6-4. We take a look at the game-changing drives of the game brought to you by Audi and the all-new Audi Q3.
Well, in the fourth inning, Hunter Producia hits this two-run homer that puts Tampa Bay up 5-3, and then Yandy Diaz hits this slider out over the plate to make it 6-3 for back-to-back homers in the fourth inning.
Now let's take a look, Joe, at the Chevy player of the game.
Well, Ian Seymour, 5 1/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, gave up 3 runs. He gave up a home run to Ben Rice, but he had the K game working tonight, Michael. He had 12 and 5 1/3 innings. A good four-seamer, a really good changeup. He was really effective with all his pitches. A really good start.
Rays 6-8-1, beating 4-11-0. Time of the game 2:38. Seymour goes to 6-1. Baker's 24th save. Will Warren his 4th loss. Coming up on the Yes Network, stay tuned for the W.B. Mason postgame show with Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Michael Cooney, Mike Webb, and our executive producer is Mr. Jared Ames Boschnack. Join us again tomorrow on Prime when the Yankees take on the Rays at Tropicana Field. Coverage will begin at 6 p.m. on Yes, with first pitch coming shortly after 6:30. Again, the final score, the Tampa Bay Rays 6 and the New York Yankees 4. For Joe Girardi and Meredith Morakovich, I'm Michael Kay saying see ya from Tropicana Field here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Now, let's go to Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry standing by in our Yes Network studios with the post-game show. Guys?